Okay, well, good morning, good evening, or good night to all our viewers, depending on where you are in the world today. I'm very honored to have with me today a fellow South African, Maxine Immelman. And Maxine hails from the north of my country, and we're actually just discussing the cold a little bit because it's quite chilly here in South Africa at the moment. And in Cape Town today, it's a beautiful, clear day, but oh gosh, freezingly cold. Maybe not as cold as it gets up there by you guys, but still, for us, it's not nice, not nice.
It's definitely a different cold, very
Yes,
different.
for sure, for sure. But Maxine, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us and tell us a bit about yourself. Very interested to hear a bit about your journey. I think, especially for South Africans as well, I find it so interesting always to hear about people who are involved in naturopathy or anything to do with natural healing. But maybe you could tell us a bit about your life journey and what got you to this point. What made you decide that this is what you wanted to do with your life?
Okay, first of all, I'm a late bloomer. I only really woke up at the age of 36. Um, I had a very difficult childhood, but we won't go into
Mm.
all of that. But it made me realize at the age of 36, struggling with infertility myself, and then finally falling pregnant and losing her at 22 weeks, I realized
Oh, I'm so sorry.
that something wasn't right, and I had to
Mm.
review everything. And actually, when I came out of the hospital, I met Margaret Roberts personally, and she took me aside, and we had a very good one-on-one conversation. And the first thing she asked me was, "Do you drink Coke?" And I said, "Yes, I drink about 4 liters a day." She said, "There you go." She says, "Stop drinking Coke." So that just made me relook everything, and that started
Mm.
me on my journey of, okay, I'm inspired by Margaret Roberts, and I started studying herbalism, and from there I just carried on studying and studying and studying. And I think South Africans aren't really ready for the natural thing. I do
Mm.
realize that lately there's been a renewed spark in it, and I'm very, very
Yes.
grateful for that. So I've done vibrational therapy. I work with flower essences. I work with herbs. I
Mm.
work with, but the basic is to get your body back into balance. That's the most important thing. And if you can do that from cell level, you will heal quicker. And
Yes.
it's actually such a simple concept, but not everybody knows about it, and we've forgotten about it, if I can put it that way. So just going back to the very basics, and you can use it through sound, through vibrations, just your basic cell balance. That's the most important
Mm.
thing. So when I speak to my clients, I do a whole the questionnaire is quite broad, because I look at lifestyle, I look at your emotional side, which is very important. If you
Oh, Maxine, we seem to have lost you there. Are you able to hear me? Hello? Maxine, can you hear me? Hello?
Are you back? Sorry.
Yes. Hi, sir. We lost you there for a bit. Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay. Did you hear me up to where I? Well, basically, it's about bringing the body back into balance. So I look at the whole emotional being as well. So obviously, you know that when a cell is diseased, it vibrates at a
Mm-hmm.
very, very low frequency. So if we can bring up the vibration of the cells itself, it will automatically kickstart the healing process. So I look at literally everything, and I use different modalities for every individual, because
Mm.
everybody is different. Some people might be on chronic medications, which are obviously causing side effects. So
Right.
you have not everybody will be able to work with aromatherapy because they have sensitive noses and might get migraines, like my husband. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to use different modalities for every individual, and that's what I do. And that's why I also say, people ask me, "What do I call you?" I said, "I'm Maxine." Just call me Maxine, because it's a one-on-one journey, and where I
Mm.
just enable your body to get back into balance again and just kickstart that self-healing process.
And I really love that because it seems to be a theme that I'm hearing quite a bit. And the first time I heard it was probably over a decade ago. I was still working in corporate and massively stressed out, and shoulders up to here with stress, and back always out of
Yes.
alignment, and all the rest of it, and having issues with my gut, and just the list was just going on and on and on. And I spoke to somebody, and she looked at me and she said, Stefan, the human body is an amazing thing. It knows how to heal itself
Yes.
perfectly well, but it does need a little bit of support in order to get there. And I sort of looked at her and I said, well, what do you mean by that? And that was when she kind of said exactly what you just said, which is when the body has what it needs, it is able to fend off just about every single infection, stress, disease, everything that comes its way. But we take away the body's ability to do that because we throw it out of balance. We drink
Yes.
4 liters of Coke a day.
Yes.
We, in my case, I mean, I wouldn't eat all day, and I would just chug black coffee all day. So,
Mm.
my adrenals were firing constantly because I'm hyped up on caffeine, not getting enough water. So, of course, my stress levels go up. I'm not getting the proper nutrients that my body needs in order to support it. And so all these things just play into each other. And then you realize that when we go to the doctor, which, and I always say to all my clients, I'm never bashing Western medicine. That's not what I'm doing. I believe it has its place, because sometimes we do let things get to such a intense state that we need those harsh medications to kind of knock out the symptoms so that we can get back to actually dealing with the cause. But trying to deal with the cause, which is going to take some time because healing from a cell level is not something that happens overnight.
Mm.
You then sometimes do require that. But as humans, and especially I think in modern culture, we forget, or we've forgotten how to properly treat ourselves. And it does, I think, or actually, let me ask the question rather. Do you believe that part of the reason why this has happened is because the food we ingest, so just normally on a day-to-day basis, is just not quite as nutritious as what, say, our grandparents were used to?
Okay. The short answer is yes, but it's more complex than that. It's not just the food; it's the
Mm,
environment, it's the toxins.
mm,
It's having your nails done. I don't do my nails anymore. These are all natural. It's all the
right?
toxins that we are exposed to, and
Constantly.
yes, and I'm not I am a control freak, but you can't control everything.
No.
But you can make the choice between having a processed meal or having
Hmm.
a whole food meal. And little choices like that will make a huge difference. So
Oh,
you
absolutely.
can't control everything. If you
No.
live in Witbank with all the air pollution, the only thing you can do is to move away. But it's not always possible. And
Mm,
I'm not a fanatic. I'm not somebody who says only eat plant-based or um, you can't do this and you can't do that. You have to be alive, and that's why my business is called Alive. You want to
mm,
feel alive again. And how do you do that? Just by doing a small basic changes, you can really, really feel alive again. I don't go to the gym. I've never been on a diet in my life. I don't believe it works. It throws your body out of balance.
hmm.
And you just need to, even if you just walk with your dogs, play with your children, just be active, but be in balance. I'm not a fanatic
Yes,
at all. If you want to have a drink on a Friday night, have a drink. If you want to eat red meat at the braai, we South Africans, we're going to do that, you know. Um,
absolutely.
so it's just really enjoying yourself, but respecting your body and understanding your body. So every
Mm,
time when you make a choice, that will I have a glass of Coke, even though I want to? No, I'm going to have a glass of water, you know, or a fruit juice or whatever. I work with a lot of children, and that just happened by accident. So I call myself, even though I don't have any living children, I'm the mother of many, and I
oh,
help a lot of children, and it's amazing. And what I believe is that if we knew this earlier, and you would agree with me, if we learned this as children, we wouldn't need to go to the allopathic doctor to knock
right.
everything out with pills. So if we understood this concept, from an early age, it would be
Mm,
different because prevention is better than cure. So if we can
absolutely.
start working on an earlier stage and catch everything early, it's much easier to heal
Oh,
than to
for
wait
sure.
until you get to that stage that you need the emergency medicine. And like I say, Western medicine is fantastic, especially emergency medicine. But
Yes,
why do you want to let it get to that point?
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, you just need to make basic small changes. And like I say, we South Africans, we like our braais, we like having our drinks.
Yes,
We do that. But you can still do that and have a fantastic time and still have your cake, but not in excess. Just balance.
exactly. So, for all our overseas listeners, a braai here is a national pastime. Braai Day is actually coming up soon, but they will all know it as a barbecue. But I'm loving what Maxine is saying here, and I want to just reinforce this because it lends itself to balance. We're not. This is not the fun police. We're not saying to everyone, well, you can't have this and you can't have that and you can't have that. We're saying have it, but be mindful. If you know you're going to have a glass of Coke, be mindful of what that does to your body, and remember that you need to maybe have extra water to help flush that out, or something else to help support your system. If you're going to have red meat, okay, you know that that is going to cause some acid in your body. Here's how you can help change that. It's that mindfulness, as opposed to, just saying, well, I'm just cutting everything out and I'm going to be the boring person in the corner going, well, I don't drink and I don't do this and I don't eat that and I don't eat that and I don't eat this. And everybody kind of, because I've been that person where I'm sat in the corner going, no, I'm not going, I'm going to have this instead because, it's better for the body. And after a couple of months of doing that, you suddenly realize, I really want a chop. I really want a lamb chop. Like, that's all I want right now, you know?
Or
And,
biltong.
oh, also, yeah, exactly.
That's something you can't change.
Exactly.
That's who we
And
are.
just,
And but you lose your joy. When you
hmm,
become a fanatic, you lose your joy. You
yes.
have to really be alive and live again. And just
Hmm,
be, like I say, being mindful. Mindfulness is something that joins in quite nicely with the meditation. That's something I started doing as well. And I do guided meditations and I do a challenge as well, one starting now in August again. But it's more based on the success aspect. So you can't be successful in business if you're not healthy. So
absolutely.
you start healing that balance, and to put it in a nutshell, I use different modalities there as well. So I will use hypnotherapy, brain reprogramming, binaural beats,
Hmm,
visualization, and all of that through the 21 days to get you to actually kickstart your business. And if you've had an idea and you're procrastinating about it, what's holding you back? What is the past issues holding you back? So it's really combining all of these methods to be the most successful product in the end, and that will help everybody.
absolutely. So that then also just lends itself so beautifully to your entire approach, which I think is the definition of the word holistic, because you really are looking at the whole as opposed to just one aspect. We're not just looking at the physical, we're looking at the mental, we're looking at the emotional, we're looking at all these things taken together, and then letting people decide for themselves what is the best version of myself that I want to be, and how do I get there so that you can be successful.
Yes, interesting that you're saying that. If you know Dr. De Martini, he
Yes.
has a okay. So if you're not in line with your core values, you'll also never be happy. So that also brings balance. So it's really a holistic approach and on all levels. And then earlier you spoke about the books that I write for children specifically, which brings in,
Mm,
if you can learn from an early age, what are the properties of plants? How can I use it in a fun way, not in a scholastic, boring way? How do I
mm,
learn in a fun way? And that's what I did with the Herb Chronicles. So when I wrote that, it's three friends having fun with this fantastic dog, and they go through these adventures together. And in every adventure, something would happen, and then they would have a plant that would assist in the situation. And then so they will learn in a fun way.
beautiful.
But with every single story, it's short stories that forms an omnibus. So the whole story carries from the beginning right to the end. But you have puzzles to do, and you have crosswords to do, and you've got recipes to go and form family time with the mom or the dad, and you're in the kitchen together. So the way that
Mm.
every child learns will be incorporated into that story, so to make it fun, and they will
Yes.
remember. And strangely enough, when one of my English teachers, she tested it for me, and she said to me, "What an amazing tool to learn English, no matter what your literacy level
Hmm.
is." So it brings in the English language as well as the knowledge of different plants and how to use that. And it's fun because you actually have a recipe that you can. It's an applicable thing that you bring into your family, and you do it as
Yes.
a fun time together. So that was quite fun to read
That
and
is
write.
incredible. Yeah, I can imagine because, Maxine, I've been saying for years now that if we really want to see massive change happening on a global scale, we can't be targeting adults because it's the same old thing of trying to teach an old dog new tricks. And you'll get one in three and it'll be great and all the rest of it. But if we really want to make a difference, teach our children from a young age in a fun way, about
Mm.
holistic healing, because it's all well and good having your normal scholastic or an academic journey that we all have to go through. But I always used to say, even when I was in school, I wish that they were teaching us more things around nutrition and around just how the human body works and what is good for it and what isn't. And if something isn't good for it, how to heal yourself more naturally. And I've seen with friends of mine where they've done similar sort of learning journeys with their children. The children become the ambassadors in the family for healthy lifestyles. They're the ones who go, "No, mom, I don't think we should have that much sugar in the coffee," or, "Dad, really, don't you think we should be switching to this particular type of bread?" And it's really heartwarming to watch because they're invested in this journey, and you can just see how that just changes their whole outlook because they become more mindful about their
Yes.
choices in life.
And they're
So,
happier kids and they're healthier
yes,
kids
yes,
in comparison
absolutely.
to the others.
Yes,
Definitely.
because they know it, you're giving them a sense of, I think, control as well and a sense of responsibility, because it's
Mm.
not just eat this because it's good for you. It's here's why it's good for you, so they can actually make the choice, and that's empowering. We all know it's empowering to be taught why you do certain things and then getting to choose it, and that's the same for children as well. So
Well, I used to
exceptional work.
I used to be punished. If you don't eat your gem squash, you'll be punished and you sit by the table until you
Oh
finish.
yes,
But no
same.
explanation of why, you know.
No, no.
Maybe they also didn't know why. But yeah, so we've got that chance to do it now. And with this whole
Mm.
awakening happening worldwide, I think it's a fantastic time just to stand together. And like you say, start with the children. Start with the children.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, to just start wrapping up our short little interview here today with Maxine, Maxine is going to be a speaker on the 14th of August with the Wellness Lifestyle Conference. And she's actually going to be discussing healing at the cell level with our listeners. So, please do tune in for that. The video will be broadcast live on our channel on YouTube. And I'm sure that everybody's going to learn just so much. I've already learned so much just from this short interview, so this has been incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Um, but Maxine, if people want to get in touch with you, how should they go about doing that?
Okay, first of all, I work online. So I'm very blessed to be able to do that. I can reach
Amazing.
anybody internationally. And I don't have to physically see you to help you. If you
Mm,
understand vibration and energy, you can help anywhere.
absolutely.
If I can't get a certain product to you and you're based in Australia or in America, I can also assist because you can get those type of herbs there or the
Mm,
flower essences. So the best way to get in contact with me is by email. I can't always take calls if I'm busy consulting
of
online.
course.
So I will definitely get back to you. So the best way is to basically go to my website. There are a lot of free gifts there, and the challenges are listed there, and the links to my
Wonderful.
books. Everything is there. But the best way to communicate directly would be then to send an email, and I'll definitely get back to you. And then I'll do a one-on-one with you to know exactly what your needs are, and then we go from there.
Fantastic. So, for everybody watching this or catching the replay as well, the details for Maxine are in the description for this video. And as I mentioned, you can also catch Maxine on the 14th of August, at the Wellness Lifestyle Conference. Maxine, this has been an incredibly enlightening discussion. And I just want to say one last thing again, just to reiterate, because it really does warm my heart when I see more South Africans, because like you said, South Africans in general, not everybody, of course, I'm using a generalization, but we are taking a little bit longer to sort of wake up to these older modalities and these ancient wisdoms that really can help us to just live happier, healthier lives. And I want to see more of us taking this journey because we are blessed to live in a country where we actually do have access to wonderful surroundings and natural remedies that are fresh from the earth because we have such a diverse country as well. So beautiful to see that you're doing this work and so incredible. Just absolutely made my day today. Thank you, Maxine.
Thank you, Stefan, and thank you for taking the time to speak to me. Really
Oh,
appreciate it.
only but a pleasure. Thank you. And we look forward to having you very soon again. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
Stefan. Thanks, you
Thanks.
too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.